good morning, everyone. How are you doing on this glorious Monday morning? Happy that we all made it to today. Thank you all for being here bright and early. I appreciate you all. I thought I'd give you guys a little Van Halen this morning. It's funny, y'all told me to listen to rock, and I didn't remember how much rock I used to listen to. But it's not hard rock. Not hard rock. But a little bit. They were nuts this weekend, Jody, and unfortunately for me, we had a family funeral, so I missed a lot of it, and then I had to try to come and catch up. So I know you guys probably have a lot more info than I do. So we're going to try to get through today real quick. And then if anybody would like to come up and share what y'all have, I'm open to it today. So, welcome to the morning's grid. Let me show you who I have on for today. So, on today, I have King Star. For those of you who were there, of course, I'm going to talk about Crawford Land. Kesha and her recent lie, Mark and his video. I have a bolo for you named Daniel, Sheena, Ashton, and what I consider to be her BS, Faye, I'll tell y'all what I think of her, and then Timothy. Now, I know there was a lot more going on. Wrench, I know, is back and at it. He is back to drinking at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, acting a complete fool. He's already on this morning. But I'll let y'all tell me who else y'all saw. Yeah, he's live right now. Asking for money. Who do I want to start with? I'm going to start with Faye because, y'all will tell me because I didn't catch a lot this weekend. It was a wild night for Sheena. Please tell me. So, Faye is quick, y'all. Yes, I'm sorry. Please, if you're a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If you're not, stick around. And if you like what you see, hit it and join the team. Also, every time I change the photo, please like the live until you see the heart. Keep liking until you see the heart's tail. Fill the tail and then take a break. So, Faye is up here for one reason and one reason only. And I talked about this. I sound kind of rested. Maybe. Just full of life, I guess. Just full of life. Because Kira woke me up at 3. I didn't need to be up until 3:30. She was on one last night. But your buddy is asleep. And we're going to keep him that way. We're not even going to say his name this morning. So, my dad used to tell me that there's a difference between being dumb and being stupid. Being dumb is you just don't have a clue. You just don't know. And being stupid is knowing and choosing to go in the opposite direction. Misha Moore. I've never even heard of a Misha Moore before. I'll look it up. Okay. So, good morning to everybody coming in. Yes, I have Misha Moore. Misha Moore. Oh, Misha Lumore. Okay, yes, I have. Is that the one that sits there with their leg crossed the whole time? Good morning. Okay, yep, I have. I'm gonna be honest, I struggle to watch. Because I don't know. I'll look into it. I struggle to watch though, I'm gonna be honest. I've tried many times. That's right, Wicked Loud Coffee Lady. And I came upon him just scrolling. I love when I come across somebody from just scrolling. But anyway, Faye, let's stay focused. Faye. So, as I said, there's dumb when you don't know, and there's stupid when you do know and you go in the opposite direction. Faye falls in the category of dumb. And why do I say that? I don't say that because I'm just teasing her. I don't say that because I don't like her. I say that because she proves that she's dumb on a daily basis. So, y'all remember when she thought that New Jersey and New Jersey was a city in New York. And she tried to tell people, yes, it's New Jersey and New York. Do we remember when she tried to say that there weren't any real work from home jobs? Like they didn't exist? And then turned right around and said, I'm trying to find a work from home job. That's just dumb. My problem with dumb is when you stand on business and you're dumb. She runs around this app spewing her hate, because that's what it is. You can have a very strong feeling about something, right? There's no reason to be hateful about it. She runs around the app being hateful, calling out Dot Compton, who does some of the best work on the planet. Just dumb. So the other day, she was live, and she was so happy that everybody was nice to her in the live, right? And of course, she starts off by, if anybody would like to help me financially, I'll see it as a blessing, but you don't have to. But if you'd like to. Now, let's not forget that just the other day, she dry begs for a $100 microwave. No, Vicky, she hasn't, and I don't care to talk about her. You're not here, I'm not talking about you. That's always been my standard. Good morning. So this time, it was for money to get on the bus so she could go get food. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I struggle to believe that she's not getting some money. Because you live in an apartment building for the elderly, and they could classify you that way. But usually there's like disabled and elderly, because she's not actually that old. She may look it, but she's not. So I know she has food stamps. I know she's on Medicaid. And I just have a feeling she's getting a Social Security check. But between the bills she has to pay and the other things she needs, she doesn't get enough. Wait, what did she say? She used to say Hawaii is a country. Hey, dumb! You've lived in the United States your entire life and you don't know what's the state or a territory of the United States. You don't at the very least know that New Jersey and New York are separate states. Good morning. So, she has colored her hair purple. Which, okay, cool. You want to, cover up the gray? No problem. But she starts to talk about how the packaging doesn't explain how long you're supposed to shake it up. It doesn't give you a specific time. It says mix well. You claim that you cook for yourself all the time. You don't know what mix well means? You need like 3 minutes. Shake it for 3 minutes. Like you have made it to the age of 50 and you don't understand what mixed well is? You color your hair all the time, ma'am. And then she says, they say the longer you leave it in your hair, the longer the darker it'll get. And she was like, so why don't I just leave it in the bottle? And why when I leave it in the bottle, does it not get darker? So there was a professional hairdresser in there who was like, I do this for a living. It oxidizes. Now, let me just take a left turn real quick. There was a time and place when the internet didn't exist. I know that's right, Ashley Nicole. I haven't colored my hair in probably 20 years. It's still mostly black, but I feel you. There was a time when it didn't exist. Like you literally were looking in encyclopedias so that the information you had could have been 10 years old, could have been 20 years old, right? But the internet exists now. Like literally, I could ask the nosy girl in the corner a question and she could tell me about anything happening around the world. A simple Google search could explain almost any question you can come up with. Yes, she's only 50. Them was the days. So, right. YouTube, we call it YouTube University. When I went from getting perms in my hair to going natural, I didn't know I had curly hair until I went natural. Because I had gotten perms my whole life. Or I should say relaxers. I went to YouTube University. But understanding how dye works is... There are a million YouTube videos about hair and dye. So she was like, of course she doesn't know what oxidized means. Like, let's be serious. And so she was like, yeah, I understand that, but why doesn't it get darker in the bottle? And so the professional hairdresser was like, it has to be on your hair. That is when it oxidizes, so that the longer you have it, the darker it'll get. So we get past that. And then she says, well, why do I have to hold my finger over the bottle, on top of the bottle when I shake it? You can't be serious. You can't. What do you. Why do you have to keep your finger over the top of the bottle? Exactly. Like, you, without even looking it up, you can't make the connection that there's a whole. She was like, it would come out. She tried to say, wait, I got one other example. So, not this live, but a few lives ago, she was talking about how she had to get rid of her mother's things and how hard it was. And I completely understand that. I still have held on to my parents' things that need to go in the garbage and I can't do it. Like, my mother's had perfume for probably 40 years. It's just alcohol, but I can't get rid of it because I remember as a little girl seeing it on the counter in her bedroom and like remembering those bottles. So I understand how difficult that is. But we all know that she doesn't like her dad. She felt like her dad showed favoritism towards her sister and not her. So apparently her dad had a gold clock and she doesn't like gold, right? And so her mother had kept it for all of these years, but she threw it out. But she didn't just throw it out because she doesn't like gold. She said it had Roman numerals on it and she doesn't know how to read it. Ma'am, even if you don't know what each Roman numeral stands for, when the long hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 6, that's 6 o'clock. Correct. It's not like the 12 is where the 3 is and the 7 is where the 2 is. And so you have to figure it out. This is my problem with pretending. She's not. She's not. She's dumb. Right. Another question Google could help with. But she runs around the app talking about if you don't like the way America is, go back to your country. This, that, and the third, going off on .com. I don't even understand. I don't remember. I did know it at one time. And I did watch that video from, I believe her name was Jama, that went back and forth with her. Insane. But guess what she does know how to do? Yes, that's right, Jody. Insane. But she knows how to ask for money. Vicky, she did. Her mother passed away earlier this year. Nah, she's not playing. She's dead serious. She's dead serious. I like Doc Compton too. I could watch him for hours because I love it. I love it. Obviously, I have a thing about people who scam people, especially when they think they're taken from elderly. Proud fire wife, let me just tell you. That's why this picture is what she looked like after I was in her box. She blocks very quickly. And wait, Didi, you need to watch D-Ho also. Does what I think I have, but I'm gonna write it down again. I think I have watched him because he makes the funny voices, right? But what I do think happens is that as she does the it engenders sympathy from people because they think, oh my God, if she doesn't know how to read a clock, if she this or she that, then I feel sorry for her. Let me also say this. Do you remember when people were like, get a job, and she was like, I can't because of my hand? And she would be like, oh, I went places and they said they would hire me, but because of my hand, they couldn't take the risk. Where are those jobs now? She's like, I went to the Dollar Tree and they said, I haven't heard back from them. Ma'am, if you are as dumb as you appear on TikTok, who's going to hire you? But instead of her acknowledging her own faults, she just wants to blame Mexicans. Ma'am, go on a construction site then. Go clean somebody's house. And I'm not saying that that's all Mexicans do. Don't forgive. Please don't assume that that's what I'm saying. What I am saying is there's been a number of them that have been deported and the jobs they were doing are now open. Go do one. Taking Bear, if you in California, give her a job. She cleans her own place all the time. I know, but Hershey, I got to be clear sometimes because, people will take a little clip of what I say and be like, she was saying that all Mexicans just do dot, dot, dot. One thing that I will say is that I want to say about 60% of the time, the people who are getting picked up are getting picked up at work. They actually work. What are you doing, Feifei? What are you doing? Other than getting on TikTok and begging. Right. Don't be dumb and hateful. Like, you make yourself look like the bigger fool. I was like, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to get off of here because I'm going to watch wrestling. I'll be honest. I used to like wrestling when I thought it was real. And I know it's still a big thing for a lot of people. But my mind couldn't get around being excited when it's all like it's a script, right? It's a script. Who wins has already been determined. So that's when I stopped watching. But I know it's a big thing. But because she was leaving to do wrestling, she wanted to remind everybody, if you want to help her financially, help yourself. Me neither, child. That's why he never made it big, because he was going to be in the local circuit. Right, Tank and Bear? Anyway, okay. Who's next? Used to manage a talent and met Brock Lesnar and the Big Show. Nice, berries. At least I know who they are. And again, I'm not knocking anybody who likes it. It is a huge industry. And in fact, what was it? WWE at the time was headquartered in Connecticut in a city called Stamford. So it was a big thing. And then they got into it with the an environmental agency, and they had to change their name. She's not on the list, but I would be remiss if I didn't tell y'all about her. So I told y'all a couple weeks ago or a few lives ago that she initially in this new account seemed to have settled down, and it was easy for her to do so because she was living with her parents. I didn't realize that. And she was able to get visitation because she was living with her parents. It wasn't like she was just in an apartment with some friends and they suddenly gave her visitation. No, it was because she was living with her parents. But like always, the moment they ask her to do something she doesn't want to do, they're out to get her. Her dad threatened to hit her, the whole thing, right? It's always everybody else's fault. And I tell y'all all the time, when you come across someone and everything is always everyone else's fault, you're the common denominator everywhere you go. She also thinks she's the smartest person in the room. She thinks that she knows everything, thought of everything, done everything, been everywhere. And when you try to advise her, you can't. But she has now become a battler. And instead of just saying send money, she battles. I guess she feels like that's better. But y'all all know how I feel about battling. So now she wants $105 because she wants to fly to New York because she wants to move there. Right. You want to move to New York? Away from your children again? This comes from a lack of humility. If it's not going the way you want it to go, everyone else be damned, including the children. And apparently, of course, the baby daddy is trying to take her visitation away. So she was ill. She claimed she felt better, but the father wouldn't let the kids come because he didn't want the kids to get sick. And unfortunately, he probably doesn't think you're reliable. That you'll say you feel better, but you don't. And then he has to deal with sick children. She has no plans on where to go, where to stay, but she was battling a gentleman. Mind you, when I say battling, they might have gotten 10 points each. It really wasn't a battle. It was really a conversation. And he's like, I know somebody that knows somebody. You could fly here, go get in a shelter, and the person I know will get you in housing in like 3 months and blah, blah, blah. You don't know this man from Adam, and you're trusting that he knows somebody who could get you up the list quickly. Do you care that there might be single mothers with children that need housing before you? No. But you want the hookup. And you don't care who you might knock off, that someone's doing you a solid, that they all of a sudden drop the person who's supposed to be first on the list for you. You're not even a resident of the state. Princess, I know. But she's absorbing it all. Like, okay. And the reason why I know the flight was $105 was because during the conversation, she looks it up. Yes, potato, potentially. She looks up the flight. But she wants to make sure she sees her kids one more time before she leaves. Why don't you get yourself together where the children are? Because this is the funny thing. So you're going to go all the way to New York. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know where she is, but she can't be too far. So you're going to create another impediment. Because do you really think he's going to let you take his kids out of state? I shouldn't say y'all's kids out of state. He didn't want to let you have them at your mama's house. But by being out of state, she gets to cry about how much she misses her children, how she wishes she could have her children, how much she loves her children. But you keep making moves that take you away from these same children you claim to love so much. Do you know how many of us have had to swallow our pride for the greater good? And she doesn't think so, though. It's her way or the highway. Whoever is hurt by it, be damned. If your parents want you to do something and you're living in their home, adult or not, you're using them to have stability. As long as it's not illegal, immoral, so what? Correct. I love that word, gargantuan. Thank you for that word. She wasn't on the list, but it was disappointing. And this is what she does, by the way. She uses her privilege. She used to just use her pretty privilege to get men to. She like literally. She would be like, they would be like, "Come visit me," and she would be like, "I'm moving in." That's right, Lucy. And if it was her home, guess what it would be? Her rules. But how are you going to stand on business in your parents' home? It's not even a stranger, it's your parents. But like the rest of them, everything is always somebody else's fault. You don't have to. She was working, she was doing well, she was off of TikTok, and because she got a verbal warning about some of her behavior, she threw it back in the manager's face. Well, you don't do anything when I'm harassed sexually. So she quit. Right, Wicked? So you quit. But this is the thing. Okay, you quit. Where's the new job? Well, now the new job is to sit on TikTok all day long and try to battle and spill these same stories over and over and over again. It didn't sound like she was going to another man, but the conversation she was having with the gentleman was like, I know somebody who knows somebody. Oh, I know it's you, Granny Annie. Thank you so much, my dear. I know somebody who knows somebody that if you come out here, you it's easy to get into a shelter, and then after about 3 months, they can get you Section 8 and all the other programs. Now, again, New York is a very liberal state, so certain places in New York, not only can you get SSI and SSDI, but they also have a local Social Security check that you can get. But is the Section 8 waiting list empty in New York? Oh, Lord. Hi, buddy. He's awake, y'all. Right, Becca. It's, again, always somebody else's fault. Always somebody else did something. When she was in Georgia, it was the hospitals. Okay, I'm going to let you decide where you want to go. Oh, you just want me to rub your head? Okay. You can't stand on the notebook though, buddy. Oh, he's taking over. Don't rub the phone. Right. Y'all might get a purr today. Correct. So she wasn't on the list, but sorry, I had to talk about it. And this was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. This wasn't like, in the middle of the day, of course. And my thing is this: why are the two of you battling when nobody's playing? Because it's the middle of the night for you to have this conversation. Oh, she used to go by Tatted Faye. And she left that account behind. I don't know if she deleted it or not. And came back as Kit. Okay. And when I first saw her come back, I was like, okay, she got to see the kids. She seemed level headed. And like I told y'all before, and I'm speaking in generalities. Sometimes when people take mental health medications, they will stop the moment they feel better because they think, I don't need them anymore, when they fail to appreciate that the reason why you're level headed right now is because of the medication. So then they go off half cocked, but because in their mind they're good and everybody around them's been telling them that they're good, they forget. Yeah, Wicked. It happens a lot. And part of it I think has to do with the stigma. I don't want people to know that I'm taking mods. Do you see my bio? You gotta mute it too, princess. You have to mute it too. Thank you. You gotta mute and then block. I agree with you, Becca. I agree with you. No, you're not the worst mod ever. When you guys put yourself up to be good mods, it's hard work. And it's going rapidly. But for some reason they like to come in here. Friday, somebody came in and was trying to make it sound like my voice almost had them ready to bust. And it was like, y'all don't know me. That if you think that's gonna offend me, it's not. I know my voice sounds good. Anyway, they do an amazing job. And they're short a person today. So yeah, she was Tatted Faye last year. Right. Love on my mods. They do a fantastic job with the number of comments that they have to go through. Okay. So how do I want to do this? One second. I want to say this without anybody's picture being up because I don't want to send the message that I'm talking about the person in the photo. I talked about this last night. There is an exploding trend on TikTok of, I've only seen women, but I'm not going to say it's just women. I'm sure there are men out here doing it too. where they realize that there are men on this app who will send them money. And there were women willing to sell videos and photos for said money. And what is starting to happen is that said men are starting to feel like they have the expectation of that, so that when they come across someone begging for money, that's what they ask for. It happened to Asia yesterday, where a man was like, I'll send the money if you do such and such. We all know Trinity would get in the tub and act like she was going to let her phone slip, and is like, send me money and meet me on Snapchat. A lot of them use Snapchat. Hello, beggars and enablers. Right. There was a woman I came across who had her payment app. And so, that's going to stop me every time. You got your payment app in the sticker. She was a bigger woman, like a big back for sure. And I'm not knocking her. I'm a big back. But she was bigger than me. But she was dressed. She was covered, but not. Right? And she wasn't trying to hide it, allude to it, nothing. She was just straight up, send me money and I got you. And she was like, if you would like a sample, go to my X account. And because I'm too curious for my own good, I went over there like, what is she doing on X? And it was literally a snippet of her engaging in adult activities with a man. Let's just say I wanted to rip my eyes out. My ex is mild. My ex is vanilla. But you are straight up using your TikTok account to send people to your other account, so that on a completely different platform, so that you can make money. Like, I know there's a lot of 304 accounts on here where they talk about what they do. They're outright like, I'm a 304, I'm selling it, it is what it is, like it or don't. And in some countries, being a 304 is legal as long as you follow whatever rules. I believe it's legal in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. You love 304 talk. But oh, hey, Gemma. It's too much. And I have a very strong feeling that the pretty beggars are going to start utilizing that. It is legal in Vegas. When you are prepared to lose all your dignity, what's one more thing? Especially if it's going to get you more money. You thought 305 was an area code. Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. And that leads me to this person. Miss Ashton. So I told y'all the other day, and we had a gentleman in here who sent her money saying that he felt sorry for her as a single mother. But a little bit of digging let me know that while he's in here 3 times a week, he has done it with multiple pretty ladies. But I digress. Hold on. I am looking for my notes. Okay. So I told you guys Friday that she was looking for $200 in cleaning supplies. And I said to you, that doesn't even make sense to me. And then she did a video where she explained it. Oh, Brooke Richardson. Well, welcome here. I hope that while you're here, you learn something so that you can stop enabling them. In fact, keep watching because I'll do him next. So, this is her story. Right, Mama Bear. I bet. So, her story, I said to you guys before that you can get all the cleaning supplies you need at the Dollar Tree. She is rude. From the Dollar Tree. Why do you need $200 worth? It doesn't even make sense. She's just asking for amounts of money to see how much she can get. But this is her story, and this is why I don't buy it. So she said that, remember now, she was begging for money for hotels, begging for money for food, begging for money to stay in Airbnbs, begging for money to move into this apartment, right? I don't know, and I haven't seen any indication that she does use rugs. I just think she uses her pretty privilege to get money. Well, wait, Granny Annie, we gonna get there. So she does a video where she says, hold on, let me just make sure. Because that was from Friday. Okay, so she does a video where she tries to explain the reason for the $200. So she says, now she's just moved into this place. She said after living there for 2 weeks, the landlord wants her out. Yes, Greg, I'm referring to you. So when she was asking for money, she had this place all lined up, right? Then she claims he wanted more money before she could move in, like it was a thing. But then she wanted cleaning supplies because she needed to clean the couches and the rugs and the beds because the dogs would urinate on everything and she needed to clean it all. That's just nasty. Talking about they didn't listen to her. I never had a dog, and I've had 4 that peed in my bed because they didn't want to listen to me, including my pit bull. But that's just nasty. And you have babies in that household. But anyway, she got the money then too. So, right, throw it out. But this time, so she moves in, right? You finally have stability for your children. It's bad enough that you've pulled your oldest son out of school so he could take care of your kids so you can work. But okay. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Your man, your husband, your baby daddy, whatever he is, went to jail. You did what you had to do. Okay. Now she is saying that within 2 weeks of moving in, her landlord wants her out. What could have happened in the first 2 weeks of moving in that your landlord wants you out? And then, so this is the thing. Do you have a lease or not? Because in most states, without a lease, they have to give you 30 days notice. If you have a lease, you mean to tell me you signed a lease that said that he only had to give you 2 weeks notice? Or that after being there for 2 weeks, he can kick you out? Oh, see, Mama Bear? You see how the lie always reveals itself? Because that doesn't make sense. If you have a lease, yes. But this is what's funny. So then she says, I found a new apartment, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like the way she described it, I wouldn't put Kira and White Sox in that home. And it's on her page, by the way. I think it's either Savage Angel or Country Honey. I'm not sure. She has a new account, Ashton something, but it's not there. Right, Crystal. Of course she didn't show pics. She's sitting in the car driving, talking to TikTok, which is dangerous in and of itself. But the description she gave, I wouldn't put my worst enemy in that home. Why would you take that for your children? But if you didn't pay the security deposit that you promised, I could see he could kick you out. Frank Vasquez, that's not enough for her now. Because she has men all over the place sending her money. So your little 6 roses mean nothing to her. Oh, you're talking about Maggie? Oh, please. I don't know why anybody would give Maggie a penny, a third of a penny. But for the men out there, would you knowingly give money to a woman that you know is using you? If the answer is yes, keep on going. But if you wouldn't allow somebody to play in your face that way, why are you letting them play in your face on the internet? She did? Yeah, I know it slowed down, but it hasn't slowed down her asking. And she doesn't care if it takes her 3 minutes or 3 days. She'll just keep asking until she gets it. The fact that people keep sending her money so she could go to events kills me. It kills me. Like, she's going alone. We all know she don't got it all together. She's getting into it. What is this? The third or fourth time? she's had it out with somebody, it's probably not a permanent ban. And Maggie could create an account now and she'd have enough people to go live in 20 minutes or less. She already has, I bet. Yeah, it doesn't bother her. It doesn't bother her at all. Stop getting played because you think a woman is pretty and she comes to you. Because this is the thing. Her husband is home. Is he going to let her talk to you now? Is the reason why she was in the car because he's home and he can't see this? When is he going to? He just got home, but guess what? It's his responsibility to take care of his family, not you. Correct. Donate it to a legitimate source that you know is actually helping individuals in need and not just people who have figured out that they could come to social media and get money. Your local community could use your assistance. They wouldn't care if it was $20. Go to the local school and pay off a couple of kids' lunch bills. Do that. Donate to the shelter locally. You want to help women in need? Go to the store, go to Walmart, grocery store, wherever. Buy a bunch of pads and tampons and panty liners and bring that to the shelter. Because food stamps don't pay for those things. If you don't want to do that, buy soap, socks, shampoo, conditioner, and bring that to the local shelter. Food stamps don't pay for that. But you are trusting someone who shows you their face, whines about their situation, and then you feel the need to give them money. And oh, they show me what they spent it on. Yeah, and what they may not show you, I said this before. Just because they're in the store buying the item that they told you they were going to buy doesn't mean that it was your money that got used to do that. She could have had $150 sitting in her purse. But if someone else is going to pay for it, I get to keep the $150 in my purse. But I think she needed that place to be as disgusting as she described it so that people would find a reason to help her. Because people just put her in an apartment, a house, whatever. Right, exactly, Andrea. I have never in my life met so many people who will bypass a big back woman with her two kids sitting outside and tell her to get a job, but a pretty woman with a job, with a man, and with a family could come on here and be like, I'm a single mother and I need some help. And they will open their wallets. It's ridiculous. And it's constant. It's all. Remember when she said she was doing orientation for a second job? Well, in her video, she talked about only having one job. So what happened to the second job you were getting? What happened? You told everybody you were getting a second job so you could make ends meet. What happened? And you were hired because you had to go to orientation. A lot of states don't feed kids for free. Because of the core, we're animals. Well, listen, it's not a good idea. So you guys illuminated me on Keisha, whatever account she's on. Yes, please like the live until you feel the heart's tale. And even if you're here as a silent watcher, please just like the live. Because we all know that I have two reasons. One is to keep the live open. If you're here as a silent watcher and you want to hear what I have to say, don't let me get taken down. And B is to end up on the FYP. Because I'm trying to come across people who don't know, who may be familiar with them, but not us. Wait, you said what? Hold on. Only 9 states have free lunch and breakfast for all kids. That number is so low. Exactly. I don't need to make fun of them. For what? Making fun of them doesn't change any of the facts. Yours does, Andrea. That's awesome. A lot of children in this country don't have that. And what's crazy is a mother or father or the both of them together could barely be making it, but they make $1 over the amount allowed. Their kids can't even get subsidized breakfast and lunch on $1. They made you pay for the school paper. I believe it. So she is back on her big one of begging now every single day. Now, y'all let me know she was living with her mother. And I should have known because A, she put all that stuff on the walls. B, she was playing her music loud as all get out. But she was going to work, right? She wasn't on here asking for money. Maybe occasionally she would come up like the time that she was trying to sell her clothes and they told her she had to come back the next day. So then the cab driver kept her stuff and she, like, you know, always a huge, gigantic story for why she needs money. But she's in Canada and it's already getting cold in Canada. And the other day she was live. It was late for me, but she's a few hours behind me. And the little blurb says something about it's cold and snowing and I'm outside. Something like that. Okay, Pink Bird, no problem. Be safe. So I go into the live and she's sitting there outside with like a zip up hoodie talking about she's outside with nowhere to go. Kesha, do you forget that we've been watching you for well over a year? And the only thing you have is a zip up hoodie for the winter time in Canada. Last night, you could see I have the 2 accounts I've noticed her on lately. Oh, thank you for the Tweety birds that make me think about Sheena in the other day. I always put their account names into the center of the page. They will always be on the screen. I agree with you. It is cold. So why would she be outside with a zip-up hoodie on? And people in the chat talking about help her out, she's outside, and people are like, how cold is it? And blah, blah, blah. But when she wasn't getting any money, she caught an attitude and just got off. Of course it's to make people feel sorry for her. But no, I believe because she just wanted money. So she came outside in just a zip up hoodie so she would be cold. So she could be like, it's so cold out here. Oh, I need help, blah, 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 blah. And then when she realized she wasn't going to get any money, she got off and went right back inside. What are we doing? And why are people in her life trying to convince other people to give her their money? She just went outside. Because we know she has clothes to stay warm. Nope, you haven't missed Daniel. We know that she has clothes because we've been watching. So it's like they've gotten lazy as time goes on. Let me just see how much money I could get. I'm going to run outside real quick and be cold. This is the same person that went off about somebody mentioning the fact that whenever Eric is around, things change. Suddenly there's more money necessary than ever. Correct, Andrea. And even when she was talking about selling her clothes, everything was name brand. Of course he's on here, Ashley. I don't know, Karina. I did not have a lot of time. As I said, it was a sad weekend. And just so that you understand, Mr.'s uncle passed away at home. His wife, of course, found him. And then she had a heart attack and passed away 4 days later. So it's been a lot. So I think I've watched 5 messages in the entire weekend, which is why I wasn't around a lot. Yep, she passed away from a broken heart. They were together for 40 years. So her children have not only lost him, but they've now also lost her. So I will share all of your condolences. Thank you. So sad. Of course, family first. So that's why my thing is light, I guess you could say. And you got, like I said, you guys saw a lot more people than I did this weekend. So last weekend is a funeral. Next weekend is a funeral. Oh, that's right. She said we are heartless And I wrote down, we aren't heartless. We're tired of your nonsense. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. She was live for less than 10 minutes. Now, you mean to tell me you're really outside with just a hoodie on? It's starting to snow and it's that cold, and you only need to be online for 10 minutes? Karina, she knows everything. She just doesn't care. Oh, thank you. That's beautiful. Crafty Cindy, thank you. She doesn't care. None of them care. None of them care that everybody is struggling. They don't care. They don't care that food prices for us haven't gone down. They don't care that rents have gone up. People with mortgages with a variable rate don't know whether to go left or right. People have car payments. People have their own kids, grandkids, great grandkids, nieces and nephews. They don't care about what's happening in your own life. They only care for as long as you're helping them. How many of them have said, when people are like, I would help you, but I'm broke, have said, well, then why are you here? Or that doesn't help me. Right, Sabuki? Right. I need aging parents on top of it. They do not care. And they'll be like, well, not everybody is broke. No, not everybody is broke. But the most of the people who are in your life don't have enough to fulfill your desires. Because they're out trying to fulfill their own. And it's the same way with battling. If people are going to throw for you, they're going to throw for you. And I understand the whole thing of being like, yes, team, let's get it, blah, blah, blah. But there's a younger black lady that battles Sheena a lot. And she battles her because she gets tons of gifts when she battles Sheena. She doesn't act anything like Sheena. Or Cassie, for that matter. By the way, since I brought her name up, this was her telling people to follow her third account because her main and her backup were taken down. Now, I'm not being funny with this photo, but what I will say is that she was doing a video saying that she made a mistake the day she was nodding out with her medication, I'm assuming. And then she came live and she didn't realize. This video, she couldn't even keep her eyes open. And it was her account, and I literally wrote under it, can't keep your eyes open. You are literally telling people that it was a mistake and to let it go, while you can't even keep your eyes open to do the video. And then posted it. Make it make sense. But it's us. We're making it up. And I'm new to her. So I don't even have a long history of understanding the vileness by which she is. It's always our fault. We're always making too much of it. But you put the proof on TikTok. I tell y'all all the time, I don't need to go real life because the nonsense they do on TikTok is enough for me. And especially with the fact that her husband is on the road 90% of the week. Well, I won't say 90. 80%. So it's just her. And this is like, it's one thing if you're live and you whatever, right? But you make a video to explain and you can't keep your eyes open. Well, they not like us. We look like we're going downhill. I understood what you meant by a plea. She better have taken that plea. Oop, I'm sorry. Lord, I didn't put the coffee cup down too loud. Woke up the buddies. So, ma'am, don't get mad at us because we see what we see. You do it on TikTok. Yeah. I don't remember if she was slurring her words. I just remember her barely being able to keep her eyes open. Hey, Emily. But was explaining that the last time she was out of it, it was a mistake and she's already apologized for it. So she doesn't understand why people are still saying that she's on drugs. Okay, my love. I appreciate you being here. So, yeah. I don't want to hear about it. But my problem is, what, Christina? She dropped her towel on. Yeah, that's what she's trying to say. But this is the thing. If you're making that mistake, right? Why are you live? She used to mod for a beggar Bree girl. Yeah, well, we find that out a lot, don't we? Let me write that down because I'll forget by the time I'm over a Swindler show. There again, and this is my thing. There are many people on this app who are on MAT and prescription medication. Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to hop up real quick and say she did a shaking of her tatas first and then said, "Oh man, that didn't even get me a galaxy." And then after she got fully out of the shower, she fully did the full towel drop twice.
Wow.
So I just wanted to let y'all know it's on Swindler Show's page. Go look. Please repost it. She needs off this app. There's children on this app. That's sick.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
please go watch it. And she was complaining that all of the Tata scenage got her nothing. And she was like, I did all that. Something like that at the end of the video is like, I'm about to lose my account and I did all of that. I couldn't really hear what says at the end, but it's something like, I can't believe I did all that and I'm going to lose my account and I got no money or I got no gifts, not money.
And see, that's my problem. That's why when she's like, I'm just a battler like everybody else. No, you're not.
No.
She is just as bad as Sheena. That's why I have a problem.
Honest, I think she's worse because I haven't seen Sheena's tatas, but I've seen Cassie's.
Right. You're right.
Like, this is a children's app, or at least it used to be a children's app. I know a lot of adults have come over to this app, but it's fun.
But do you see what I mean by we are committing to our lower selves in the name of money? And this is the thing. She wouldn't do it on a street corner. She wouldn't do it in a club. Like, she'd never be a dancer. But you are willing to do it on TikTok for a galaxy? It doesn't make sense.
It's absolutely disgusting, but I just wanted to drop down. Please go repost that video. Lots of people need to watch it just to try and get her off, because the Tata showage was absolutely disgusting.
That
So,
is disgusting. Thank you for
thank you.
sharing that. I will definitely go watch.
Absolutely. Have a great morning. And I'm
You
sorry for
too.
interrupting. I just
Oh
wanted to
no,
say that.
that
Thank
was
you.
perfect. Thank you for
Bye.
coming up. I appreciate you. Right. The internet is forever. Yes, we know, Sabuki, as if any of it is exciting. Do they not realize that if anybody's excited about that, they can see that for free on the internet? They don't even have to pay. Cornhub is free. So why do you think that you showing yours deserves money? And I'm sure that there were women in there who were like, I got my own. Why would I send you money for doing that? Her man doesn't even know about the video. He comes home Friday night after working all week. All he wants to do is curse out people on TikTok, because guess what? He has to deal with her nagging about what happens on TikTok. And he acts like going off on somebody scares somebody. Sir, you're never home. Who's afraid of you? Correct, Sabuki. Neither do I. But that's crying for attention. But then she'll have her attack dogs out here going off. And she was like, I'm going to block you, but I know you probably have 10 accounts. I sure do. Well, I don't have quite 10, but I have enough. Which is why I told her blocking me is symbolic. And that's for everybody. Anybody can just create another account and go right back in. Blocking is symbolic. But what it's not going to do is stop me from talking about you. I'm sure she's deleted my comment by now. Because honestly, I honestly thought initially that that was somebody else's account blowing her up. I really did. It took me a minute to be like, no, that's her account. That is her backup account. So she could try it. But like I said, there are thousands of people on this app that battle that don't act like that. There are thousands of people on this app who are on MAT and on other medications who don't come on TikTok and show their ass. I think she's in Florida. Isn't she in Florida? Yeah, she's in Florida. Ridiculous. Let's do another one. As you can see, I was watching more videos than I was watching lives. But okay. This fool makes a video. This fool makes a video and says that he's going to be 38. I don't know if it was yesterday he was going to be 38 or today. But he makes a video and he says that he turns 38 and he has nothing to show for it. Now, at first, you would think, oh, is he now like accepting responsibility for his own shortcomings? Yes, please tap, tap, tap. I don't know if it's Tim's birthday, but I'm talking about Mark right now. You would think that he would be like, you know what? I've lived on this earth for 38 years and I don't even have a rolling bag to call my own. I need to do something better. No, of course not. He blames the state of Kentucky that raised him in group homes and that he was put in mental institutions and mental hospitals, and that's the reason. Again, when everybody else is at fault, but you're the common denominator, you need to look internally. Now, I am not going to say that people who are raised in those circumstances don't have a hill to climb. Of course they do. Children of single parents have a hill to climb. Children of divorced parents have a hill to climb. Children that are raised alone have a hill to climb. Children in large families, like everybody has a hill to climb. It's just different by the person. But to say that that's the reason why you couldn't have made anything of your life is ridiculous. So, and I know I know it seems like I have a story about everything. I've just lived a lot of life. So there was a board member who I got to know like personally. And he invited me to an event. He was like, this agency is very important to me. I'm going to be speaking. Please come. Because they were looking for donations. So I go. And he tells his story. And this is when I find out the truth, like behind who he is. His mother was a 304. They assumed that his father was a client of hers, but he never knew. And he immediately got handed over to the state because they wouldn't allow her to take him. And he grew up in group homes. And this particular one, he was fond of because he said it was the first time anybody cared enough about me to teach me anything. He was like, this agency taught me how to make my bed, how to tie my shoes. And he kind of went on, but there was never like an expression of love. It was just, you taught me things. And I remember when 9/11 happened, he worked for Merrill Lynch at the time. And so a lot of people who worked for Merrill Lynch didn't make it out of the towers because they had an office in that building. And I remember him being like, I feel bad for my coworkers, but I also feel bad because I don't know if I lost a family member. I'll never know. This young man went on to work at Merrill Lynch. He then took a leave of absence to get his master's degree from a seminary and then went on to school to be an attorney. He's now married with 2 children. And I remember when his daughter was born, he was like, this is the first family member I have ever known in my entire life. He's married with 2 kids and he's a practicing attorney. Do you think he had a hill to climb? So when I see Mark say, you can blame the state of Kentucky, and he's like, all of us, then he tries to change it and say, well, some of us have done okay. It was a choice. You had the choice, like somebody said, to show resilience. You had the choice to choose better. You just didn't. And I can understand your 20s being real shaky because they're not necessarily in there encouraging you to go to college. They're not encouraging you to get a trade. They're like, we got to just get you to 18 and then we can throw you out. I get it. But you're about to be 38 years old. And while that trauma is still real, are you in therapy? Are you seeing a psychiatrist? Are you even seeing a doctor regularly? Because how you deal with that is what defines who you're going to be. To just succumb means you are going to be where you are. Correct, Crystal. You have to either choose to get yourself, like what's the saying? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Right, Jama. And let me just tell you, if college isn't for you, go get a trade. We need mechanics. AI is not going to fix mechanics, plumbers, electricians, construction work. They can make the job easier, but they can't replace it. You like beauty? Be an esthetician. Get your license to do hair. Be a barber. AI is not going to fix those things for us. Those are going to be things that are necessary. People are running around trying to, get into the tech industry, which is great. I don't discourage that. But guess what? AI is coming for those jobs. Right, Jama? I get it. But encourage him. Whatever his dream is, encourage it. But when you have a 38-year-old on the internet crying about what happened to him when he was a child, while at the same time doing nothing to fix his circumstances, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. My question was, as a child, as a young person in your 20s, I understand you might not have known, no one may have told you how to put one foot in front of the other. But at 38, you don't know what to do. At 38, you don't know that you need to get into a stable situation, get a job. The next goal is to get an apartment. Do I think that he knows maybe how to finance a car or buy a home or play in the stock market? No. But I don't expect that of him. What I do expect is that he knows the basics at 38. He was just living in a home, in a group home of some kind, and working. And he was showing us that he was cooking for himself and he had it together. How come every situation he gets in blows up? He was living with a woman, and the woman lived out in the country. I don't even know if she was expecting him to get a job, but she threw him out. We also know he's a sick individual. Let's just keep it a buck. We all know by now the videos where the people who looked for P3DOs found him. They had been talking to him. They found out he was talking to an underage minor boy. And then he tried to blame it all on the girlfriend. Correct, Crystal. Oh, yes. But it was somebody else's fault. And then when they wanted to interview him after the fact, he only wanted to do it if they were going to pay him for it. He has been living outside, moving state to state for years. Because he's only looking for the handout. He's not looking for the handout to help him progress. He literally wants to stay at the point where he's not responsible. But Nikki, if he knows that, then go get the help. Again, you're 38 years old. You're not a child. Hey, all for one. Good morning. So, yeah. No excuses for me. The internet is real. Just like with Fifi, Fei, whatever her name is. Fei. Right, Harley Ryder. His only answer is somebody give me money. That's it. Where's the handout next? Right, Michelle. He's not. Is he dumb about some things? Yes. But what he has figured out is that there's enough kind-hearted people in the world that he doesn't have to be responsible. Oh, yeah, she is. I talked about you earlier. If you guys want to hear the nonsense, go to Jama's page and listen to it. They went back and forth for quite some time. Who's next? Let's do the bolo. So again, I came across him simply by scrolling. And he was crying. He is a trans man. Not that it matters, but I just want to be honest. I don't want... Yes, he has for years. And that's what brought him up here. Because he self-admitted to having his chat pay for his everything. Of course he cries all the time. He's a manipulator. You know how I say some people I have to watch for a while and other people I could tell immediately? Yeah, he was a tell immediately. So he has a CA, a PP, a VMO, all of them, right? Wow, Wicked. Yeah, cries all the time. Like, he's a Tim Nash. He could cry on a dime. Oh, is Brooke Richardson here? Oh, yeah, I think they said that they're here. Is that the same person from before? I asked them to stick around because I want them to hear what I have to say. But what I am hoping is that they have stuck around. Oh, she left? Oh, because I wanted her to stick around because one of the reasons why I try to do between 6 and 9 people is because I want them to hear that while you may think that your person is different, after you have heard me talk about 9 people, you'll realize that you're just getting played by one person or 2 people on here, but they're all the same. They're all the same. And maybe by listening, you can hear the pattern. I don't know. But I come in to him crying about not having money. And he's not sure how he's going to make it. So his car broke down. And he doesn't have his money for the rent. He doesn't have, he wants to now trade the car in, but he doesn't have the money for a down payment. I ain't never heard of somebody who thought that if they couldn't pay for the car to get fixed, they thought they could buy a new car. Love my butterflies. I don't know. She's not on TikTok anymore begging, so I don't talk about her. I'm no longer interested. As long as you're not on here begging, I don't talk about you. I don't seek out information about you. Nothing. She ain't here. Hallelujah. Okay, beggars enablers. Thank you. Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. A lot of people are asking that question. She's on Lemonade. Oh, please tap, tap, tap if it's lagging. Because I'm sure that some of these people have their fans looking out. So please, I changed the photo. You know what we do. We tap. Somebody, if someone can send me an account on another platform, y'all know I have accounts on every platform that exists that these people go. I'll go find out myself. He's going to be crying after this. He'll probably want my account taken down. He can try. So, this was the thing that got me, though, was that he was saying that his TikTok family has taken care of him before. And I'm like, taking care of you before? Well, yes, they've moved him across the country. They've done plane tickets. They've taken care of the car multiple times. So of course, when he's facing a financial windfall, where is he going to come? Back to TikTok. And say, I love you so much and please help me and blah, blah, blah. Sir, at what point do you become responsible for yourself? If I'm going in and out for anybody, type hashtag FYP, type TikTok shop, go out and come back in, tap like your little fingers getting ready to fall off. Please, thank you, Mama Bear, because I'm being reported. But we all know that if I get taken down here, we'll just go over to Digital Deceivers Expose. We have always been prepared. It's never happened, but we're always prepared. Yes, we do love the TikTok shop. Lord knows my cards know how much I love TikTok shop. You all remember Friday when I was like, oh, a box is getting delivered and I don't know what it is? Why was it for Mr.? It was dessert for Mr. at that. I was like, I thought it was going to be exciting. For a fact, they take so much of my money. It used to be Amazon, but it's TikTok shop now. Yes, thank you for that. That is the other account if you don't have it. Go follow it. It's really there as a backup. I'm doing Daniel's coverage right now. So what he wants is for them to pay his rent. He wants them to either fix the car, but what I really think is that he wants a new car. So he wants them to come up with the down payment. We are talking about thousands of dollars. And because they've done it before, he has the faith that they'll do it again. Now, if anybody in the comments are more experienced with Daniel than me, which you will be because I just started watching, please come in the box and tell us what we don't know. But the reason why it's a bolo is because I haven't watched him enough to call him a scammer, although I believe with everything in me that he is one. He's a scammer, beggar, manipulator. That's enough for me.
He
Good.
does have a job.
Wait, say that again?
I said he does have a job.
Okay.
It's Uber, but I don't know. I mean, to me, Uber or door dashing would be a side job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider that a real job. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is if you're able to make your living that way. But
Exactly.
if
But
you
that
don't
is,
have the money to fix the car so that you can Uber, you're doing something wrong.
but I would think that that would be a lot more like wear and tear on your car.
It would be.
So that's why I would consider that like uh, a secondary job, just to get some extra money. But yes, he is. Now he says he'll do acting, whatever for money, he will work for it. But it's like every month, this guy is always late on his rent. And then he'll cry the blues. The other night he got off, he was like only on for an hour. He comes on at like 3 o'clock,
In the
3 o'clock our
afternoon,
time,
or the morning.
the morning,
Okay.
because he does do acting and, but he doesn't get paid for that. And God forbid, if you suggest jobs to him, because he would like literally rip your head off.
Right.
Yeah, he is so rude. Like when people are asking like where's my money going to go? He gives you an attitude. But then when people start bringing up the plane flights that other people have purchased for him and his children, the move, he gets so angry because he doesn't want anybody to know how much money he's really gotten. And I will say we're probably at about 30,000. That's a high number for him, but I think we're about there with as much as I've seen him scam in 2 years.
Wow. Wait, let me just say
And
something. Hold
to
on.
move,
Wait,
he will
Wicked,
use this,
Wicked,
what I think is a crutch. He
Wicked,
says,
hold
I'm in an
on.
unsafe state. People are trying to hurt me, this, that, and the other. And then his supporters will help him move to another state. But
I'm
if you're
sorry.
feeling unsafe, why are we moving there?
Can I just say something? I think it's
Yeah.
very funny. Like every time he thinks they're after him. He
What?
thinks the government is
Oh.
coming after him. And I have to like really laugh about that when he says that.
Hold on.
I'm
Let me
like,
just say something. Let me just say something to the chat. I agree with you that doing Uber, DoorDash, Lyft can be a full-time job. But
okay,
if it is not enough to take care of yourself, then you are obligated to do something else as well. You can't just say, I do Uber, it doesn't pay me enough, so you guys take care of me. That's my problem.
exactly. And I never said that it couldn't be a full-time job. I consider it myself like a secondary job, just to earn extra cash on the side.
Right, but some people do
That's
it
what I
full
said.
time. No, I know what you, but I just want, again, people, when they hear something, they think that it's an all or nothing proposition.
Oh,
For
God.
some people, it is literally their job, it's what they do. But if it's not, I always say, if it's not enough to pay your bills, it's a hobby.
Well, another thing he says, if you ask him about like getting a real job, like a 9 to 5, he cannot do that because they would have to work around his schedule for the theater. I understand that you do theater and that's something that you enjoy doing, but I would think a regular job would come before theater.
Not if you
So
got
that's why he won't do
contract.
that, because they
Right.
would have to work around his schedule.
And again, how is that anybody else's responsibility but your own? Again, if you're not getting paid for the theater, that is your hobby. It is not your job.
Yes, he is not getting paid for the theater.
So that's crazy.
Because
Yes, and
see, with
I
the
just don't.
theater,
And
he
he's
mentioned it
driving
one day
a
as a
friend's car.
job, so I thought he got paid. That's why I was a little confused. Like, how come he doesn't have one? Okay, now that makes sense that it's a free job.
Yeah, it is a free job, and right now he's borrowing a friend's car to go out here in Uber. So then I'm thinking, I wanted to say, well, what happens if that car breaks down?
Right. And you know what's interesting is that I can't even think of her name right now, but she was doing the same thing. She was Ubering and everything, and she was like, I didn't take into consideration how much wear and tear it would be on my car. I didn't think about that. And that's what happens with a lot of them. But when they are accustomed to being able to come to TikTok or family or friends and say, oops, I made a mistake. I need y'all to financially fix it for me, that they don't have to think about whether it makes sense or not. They just rely on people to fix it when they make a mistake. And don't bring it up. Yeah, you helped me in the past, but don't bring it up. How does that work? How is that fair to the people who support you? I can understand people wanting to support his theater dream, but you have to show them what you're doing. Like, to me, it's not enough to say, well, you have to work around my theater career. If and to say to people on TikTok, like, to cry. Because this is the thing. There are a lot of people who have a dream, right? They go to their people and they're like, I have a dream to do this, and I need this to support myself while I pursue my dream. And there are people who can get people to support them while they work on the dream. But crying, manipulating, having people pay for everything in your life, that is not saying support my dream. That's being manipulated.
You know, and I'd understand supporting a dream, but he doesn't even show you his acting, none of it. So
Right.
how do we even know he's an actor?
That's true.
Because we've never seen that side of it.
Well, he did post something. There is something posted on his page that they did in theater or whatever. But I mean, I'm going to be honest. It sucks. I mean, I'm just being honest, and his whole chat is so freaking delusional. It's sickening. I mean, and and I know there's somebody in this chat right now that will agree with me. It just sucks.
Well, he has definitely made it to the grid, which means I will definitely be watching more closely. I suggest that you guys do the same. You know what I always say? Don't believe a single word I say. Go watch it for yourself, which is why I put their name and app, and it's the same. It's Daniel.Acts. That's what it is. That's the name and the app. So when that's the way it is, I just put it up there. And
So
Yes,
you,
this all
he has
makes
another
sense,
account.
though, why he has a new account, because when he blocked me, it was a different account. He's had numerous like accounts on here. So that's why I was like, I can't believe none of the scammer people have picked him up yet.
Me
But I think
neither. I
it's
was
because he
going to say
constantly
something.
switches.
I was going to say something, and I thought, me and my friend were wondering the same thing. Why isn't anybody covering this dude? He doesn't think it's dry begging or anything because he's willing to work for it, like acting. Well, I don't think these people that are paying you to act are like paying you all that much.
clearly not. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Again, saying that you're willing to get paid to act. Again, if it is not covering your expenses, it is a hobby. That would be like me being, oh, I get gifts on here, so TikTok is my job. but it doesn't pay my bills, so I need you guys to send me money directly to my payment app. You can't have it both ways. You did Tennessee? Well, listen, I came across Tim honestly, like nobody recommended him to me. I was literally strolling, and I tell y'all, my spidey senses very rarely fail. And I was immediately like, who, what? You what? And
Were you in there this morning?
No.
Okay.
What happened this morning?
Well, he was, it's he needs his rent paid and he's still having his car issue and stuff like that, and it's still sitting at the, I don't know, down at the store or something like
Did
that.
the friend mechanic ever come and give him an evaluation about whether he could drive it to the dealership?
No, but I mean, it does go forward. It just doesn't go in reverse, he says. But he still owes on this car.
The idea, again, and this is what I mean, the idea that I can't afford to fix it, but I want to take it to the dealership and trade it in and get a new car, but you don't have the down payment. Like, think about how diabolical that is.
But see, the thing of it is, his car payments are going to be really high because he still owes on the broken down car. That's not paid off. He's only had that for a little over a year, I believe he said.
Hold on a second. Ruby Ann, email me. Because if I tell you to send me a message, I might not see it for weeks. I'm going to be honest. I'm working.
And there is a screenshot on somebody's page. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to ask my friend who it is. But I don't know. His whole family is messed up.
Well, I don't know jack diddly squat about the family, but what I do know is that he thinks that TikTok should pay for everything he needs outside of what he can afford, and that is not what TikTok is for.
I'm glad you're covering him.
And last I knew, he had a girlfriend. I don't know if he still does. No. But I don't think, when I saw them together, I don't think she was aware at what he was doing.
Oh.
So I think if they're still together, he's playing her. And she did once in a live mention that she has mental health issues. So I don't know if he's taking advantage of her.
Was that Sarah?
No, I think her name was Jamie.
No, they're no longer together.
Oh, thank God. I'm worried about that girl.
She doesn't, from what he tells us, I don't know, it was a mutual breakup or whatever, but she doesn't deal with the drama, and I guess she thought that he had a lot of drama on his page.
Okay, good. Because I worried about her because I didn't think she knew he was a scammer.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably is not telling the whole truth.
Of course not. Because you have to make yourself sound like a victim in order to keep up the facade. So it'll always be like, yes, it was mutual, but yeah, and it will always be something that makes him the victim.
But I'm just glad somebody's finally watching him, because he had to have gotten, in the couple years that I've watched him, at least $30,000 with the moves, the plane tickets, the rent fees, all of that. And it's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. And the other thing is, again, and this is what's so insidious about what they do. You've gotten all of that, and yet you still think people have money to take care of you in this economy. It's ridiculous. It's like he doesn't even realize, or he chooses not to, let's be honest, that people have their own bills to pay. Your emergency is not someone else's responsibility. What is that saying that's like, your failure to plan is not my emergency, or something like that? You chose to do DoorDash. The fact that your car is breaking down isn't anybody in your chat's job to figure out. It's not.
Wait a minute. He will correct you on that. It's Uber, not DoorDash.
Oh, sorry. Whatever it is.
And he eats out every day.
Yeah, he's another one. He eats out a lot. for
Yeah, and
someone
he
who has
smokes.
nothing.
He does smoke.
Oh, well, I love
Mm-hmm.
how they have habits that they can't afford.
And back
It's
2 years ago when he had no money and he was begging, he was going to the bars an awful lot too.
He was going where? I'm sorry.
To like the bar and drinking with
Oh,
his friends,
oh,
but
oh.
but he has no money.
right.
Right. Well, guess what? Welcome to the grid, Daniel, because now you are on my watch list. And
I'm sure after this I'll be blocked.
I already got blocked from his first account
Well, he's
because
got two of them. He does
he
have
didn't
two of them.
apparently he didn't like my videos I posted or something and he blocked me.
oh, he's not gonna like me, but I always say blocking me is symbolic. What is the other account name? Do you know?
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
have to go look.
yeah, I think it's about the same as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Daniel X 2 or something. I'll just look up Daniel's X and see what happens.
Yeah,
But if you
the
find it, send it
second
to me.
one is a picture. It's like he's up at the camera. It's like back the heck up.
I know the way she said bar, like you're definitely, are you from the Northeast?
Yeah,
Wicked?
I'm originally from Massachusetts.
Yes, I can hear it. I'm originally from Connecticut.
Gotcha.
It got banned. He only has one that I know of. Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what. When my friend sent me a screenshot of who was on your panel today, I
Uh
said, "I'm coming."
huh.
I
Girl,
said,
when I saw it today,
"Finally."
I was like, he finally made the list. The Brady Bunch. I'm excited.
Yes, he
Right?
sure did. Listen, the hills have eyes, and so does TikTok. We're gonna find you originally. Let me hold on for a second. Robin D, we are talking about this gentleman right here in the photo. And if you would like to find out why I'm talking about him, his at is right there in the middle. He's called a bolo, which means be on the lookout, because other people may not be aware about him, but this is his first time on my grid, so he gets the bolo label. But from everything that I've witnessed and everything that these beautiful young ladies have said, he is not a bolo. He's just a straight scammer, and he will probably continue to get covered. Exactly, little bit. Welcome to the grid.
Most times
Go
he
ahead.
comes on at 3 a.m. our time, so I think it's 12 o'clock his time or midnight.
Oh, he's in California.
No, he's in Washington State.
How are you going to be an actor? You know what?
I don't know. That's what I couldn't figure out either. I was
Well,
like,
he
who's
does
acting over
Uber.
there?
Then I think he goes to the theater, does what he does, whatever he does, and then goes back out and Ubers, and he comes on TikTok because TikTok is his second job.
Of course. But my thing is, if you're going to move somewhere to be an actor, Washington State doesn't seem like I can see you trying to get to California, New York, even Georgia or Texas at this point. But Washington State to make a living being an actor, sir, I have some advice. I have some advice.
Well,
Cuz
I can't remember what he had said. Maybe my friend who's in the chat can. He has some type of a license. I don't know if it's teaching or something.
He's got a teaching license for student acting.
Okay, so then it's going to cost that license right there cannot transfer, he says. So that's going to cost him a couple $100.
give me a break. But Uber until you get it, sir. Again, this is my problem. If teaching is what you want, I mean, if acting and teaching is what you want to do, then you put all your effort towards that. So when you get money, and again, if Ubering isn't enough, then get another job. Be a private teacher to someone who wants to be an actor. But this is the problem. You've done nothing yourself, so who would hire you? But at least try. No, his answer is to come to TikTok.
Well, he won't get a regular job because they would have to work around theater time.
But okay, and see, that's what I mean though. Do you know how many people live and work in New York, California, Georgia? They're models, they're actors, they're all kinds of things, right? They work in like what do a lot of them do? I can't think. They're waiters and waitresses. And when you're a waiter or a waitress in New York and you get a call back, they understand because that's what half of the staff is doing. No, the theater isn't. They just said the theater isn't even paying him.
No, the theater is not paying him.
So this is the thing. You can have a dream when you don't have responsibilities, right? When you're young and you're that's your dream, but at some point when that dream is no longer paying your bills, you have to manage the dream and real life. The fact that he has children means he certainly isn't providing for them in any way. How old are his kids?
From what I gather, they're like maybe 10 to 14.
No,
Wow.
I think one of his kids are out on their own. Um, oh, Bestie, help me out here. The
He's
one
an
is
adult.
14, I believe.
So we're not
She,
paying child support because we
no,
worried about a dream.
okay, let me tell you about the child support thing. Okay,
Sorry, this part's funny.
yes. His mom offered to keep his daughter because she didn't want to move. So he made it clear that if she wants to keep her up, in Texas, he's not paying her nothing.
What?
Nope, he's not
Okay.
paying her nothing.
Yo,
That was the agreement.
that's being a brat. Because at the end of the day, you laid down and had that child.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
the thing of it is, the dad sleeps. The last time I heard, he sleeps on that couch. I'm
wow.
telling you, you would freak out if you literally knew what the situation was. It's gross.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
the way you got to approach him is kind of in a nice way, because otherwise he'll just flip his shit on you.
well, he'll never let digital up in the box.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
God, no, no, no.
No, he will never. That will never be allowed. And
Yeah,
she
Mm-mm.
will be immediately blocked as soon as if she says anything in the chat.
right.
Well,
I
they
know how
mute
to
first.
go and watch. I know how to go and watch for a little while. You've
Yeah,
invested too much
he will
time.
mute you unless it's something really bad. Then his mods will block.
Oh yeah, well, I know how to go and listen. I'll probably be pre-blocked now. I usually do. When they don't know anything about me, they don't block me, but the moment they find out about me, I get blocked. But that's why I say blocking me is symbolic because I'm always going to be able to watch.
Yeah, me and my friend watch him every morning because I work third shift,
Yes,
so I catch him.
perfect. Well, I wake up that time often because Mister has to go to work at that time. So
Yep,
maybe
three
that's why
o'clock
I caught him.
between 3 and 4 o'clock Eastern time, or yeah,
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Okay, perfect. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for coming up and
Thank
filling
you
us
so much.
in.
Yes, as soon as you said anybody can come up in the box, man, I hit that request button.
Girl, Sam,
That's right. I appreciate you,
his
ladies.
begging
Thank
ways are over.
Yo,
Yes, and
yeah.
thank you for covering him. I really finally.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, you have a great day.
You too. You too. Thank you again so much for coming up. You
You're
guys,
welcome.
you guys are from all over the country. Some of you are be able to watch them, some of you won't. If I could get to some of the people who do recordings and posting, I'll see if I can get them to add him to the list so that people who can't watch him live can watch him later. Let's get him on YouTube so that even more people can watch the nonsense. But welcome to the grid, sir. It's not a place you want to be. I promise. but that's okay. You're here now. Who is next? Now, again, let's be clear, please. Everybody like the live, tap the live. So, I am King Star. I saw a video that they posted and it said Greg / I am King Star. So I don't know if their name is originally Greg, if they are legally known as I am King Star. I don't know what. Yes, King Star is back. They've been back for a little while. So they want to wait for a little while. And my question is, how did you survive without TikTok for that time? So I have a couple of things to say. First of all, I literally was watching the live and I was clicking to take screenshots, and here we go. I ended up with the best one. So they were looking for $35. Now, you know how they always have a scarf on their head? Well, they consider it their hair. And I honest hand on the Bible, I literally was writing down, do they think the scarf is hair? And then they literally were like, let me fix my hair. So I thought they were going to take the scarf off because you could see the little scragglies on the side. No, they literally changed the style of the scarf and was like, slay. Really, what? Hey, Every Design, good morning. Now, we know this one is all about, what would they say all the time? Something about evil spirits and blah, blah, blah. Hey, Sherry, how are you? You watched him 6 years ago. It's been a mess. It has been a mess. Monitoring spirits, yes. Always monitoring spirits. Yup, lurking You know a person says something too much when everybody knows what I'm talking about when I just make a reference. Oh, thank you, nerdy. So they were begging for $35, mentioned 100. Mind you, was talking to 0 people for the longest time. Just sitting there, making faces. Then they started to read a book about faith. And you know how much I hate. Uh-oh. Get your popcorn ready. Good morning.
Good morning, you and everybody, beautiful people. So I debated on whether I was going to come back off my burner and come on my main because I didn't want to ruin y'all's morning, but I can't pass up this opportunity. Digital. Pittsburgh girl Andrea is a moderator for J Bear, but not only is she a moderator for one of the worst, and I can send you a screenshot. She's everywhere. She is back with Chaos, that girl, that savage girl, Chaos. J. Paul, Tim Nash, Tim and Angela. I mean, you name it, she's everywhere. And she comes in your chat Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And she's here all the time. But today's different because she shows up on the register, and I don't know why. She is number 15 currently. Pittsburgh girl Andrea, why is it that you are moderating for J Bear?
Would you like a box? Because I would love to talk to you. And let me explain why I would like to talk to you. I would like to talk to you because I would love to hear why you see it differently, especially if you are in here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you know what we discuss. I would love for you to come up and just explain. And I say this all the time. I want to understand why you see it differently from me. Why you find that what they do is acceptable. Because I'm curious. Because I can't, there are very few people that I could ever see. Because sometimes I was like, if I was wealthy, would I give them money? If I had unlimited resources, would I give them money? And 99.99999% of the time, the answer is no. So I have been dying to come across someone who's willing to have a conversation about why the answer for them is yes. Because we know that Tim Nash is not healthy and he's taking advantage. We know that Tim and Angela have lied about cancer. They've lied about a number of things. They have accused people of doing things that they and themselves have done. I don't even know Jay Bear, to be completely honest. I've just heard the name. But Stud Soldier, why does she have a reason to need money every 2 days, but she's a CEO working full time? Like, help me understand, because I don't. Is she still here?
I'm looking through the list right now. I don't know why. Normally she'll come in and she never shows up. Oh, yeah, she's still here. She's number
Yeah, no,
60.
60. Yep.
Yeah.
Please come up. This won't be a bashing session. I'll hold the reins of Fallon back a second because I'm curious. I honestly want to know. Like, because it's one thing if you've never been here, you don't know, you choose to believe them. Okay, cool. But if you're here on a regular basis, you hear the lies. Like, they get exposed constantly. Really, Crystal? Well, then that will explain why she needs money every other day.
The day that Boo Bear got the news that she was no longer supposed to be in that hotel room, supposedly, she gifted Boo Bear heart me's and pumpkins and I think 2 golden gloves. I have a screenshot of one, but I think there were 2. So she knew we had been talking about Boo Bear, and it's like a map. It's like whoever's being talked about, that's where she's going.
And I find that interesting about so many different people. Like, why am I seeing your name in every single scammer that I talk about? I see that quite a bit. No, Manders, this is not a new one. Not by a long shot. She left and came back. But Pittsburgh girl Andrea rather, is here, and she seems to be a consistent enabler of the people we discuss. So I'm asking her to please come in the box and explain why she has. Listen, you're allowed to do whatever you want, right? You're a grown. They say you're. Oh no, you were number 63. You are clearly a grown human being. You can do whatever you want with your money. I just want to know why. She doesn't need to be scared. She won't be disrespected.
I
Yeah.
mean, disrespected, she's going to know what the difference is between disrespected because she moderates for J Bear. And I know that a lot of people don't know about J Bear, and I'm going to actually need some help. I don't know, Berries, if you can give a little bit of heads up, but J Bear's been forever around, but he is horrible. And I'll put a screenshot in your inbox. I don't know if you want to pull it up or not, so people can, maybe they may not know the J Bear name.
Yeah, I was unfamiliar. Hold on.
Okay. Are you able to come up a second, Berries? Because I know Scam's at work.
Okay, hold on. Oh, you know what? Let me pull up the other one
Okay.
because it shows the proof. Oh, I'm gonna have to let this go in a minute because people can't see.
Can you send Berries a request and see if she's able to take it? Because I'm definitely going to need help with this one.
Yeah, because I've heard the name, but I've never heard of him before. Okay, there you go.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have to refresh my memory too, because I mean, I know who he is, but it's been a long time since I've messed with this guy.
This is the one that threatened Blast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why do people think it's like again to sit here? I've extended an offer for you to come up and explain why you support them, and yet come like do you like you and I like do you come in here and hear everything I say so you could report it back to them? Because I don't understand why you would be here every single day and that I'm live, but then go and support them, but not be willing to come in the box and discuss why you do that.
And I don't even want to hear the excuse that you're a rogue mod, because you're not.
No.
Yeah, we don't do rogue mods over here because
Dee
I
Dee,
find that weird.
this guy is so horrible towards women. I mean, he thinks he's a player. He thinks the world of himself, but he is horrible towards women. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he's a big
just,
old misogynist.
yeah.
And as a woman, you want to support that? Like, I'm not asking you to be a feminist. I'm just asking you to say what I want my daughter to talk to that way. Like that what I want my daughter to be treated in a disrespectful way. And if I wouldn't want that about anybody about my daughter, why would I find that acceptable for him to treat anybody like that? Hold on. Let me get here.
And Grammy D, a rogue mod is someone who goes in there acting like they're their friend in mods form, but eventually, some way, they try to either out them or get them busted, and it never works. It's pointless.
Nope. I don't do those. I don't do those because to me you have had to compromise yourself so much to stay in there for so long to actually affect any change. I don't need you to unblock me. So why would I need you to ever be a rogue mod? Well, clearly she's not gonna come up.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. You don't have to give me. Thank you.
Well, I had to take that opportunity. I was just going to make a video, but it's going to be a long one because she is all over the place and she's been here a long time. So thank you for the privilege of a box, Dee Dee, and thank you for talking to her, because moderating for people, throwing them gifts like Boo Bear, I mean, she's attracted to the vileness, obviously.
Correct.
But I love the way you put it to them that moderating is enabling. And I mean, it's kind of borderline on super enabling because you're condoning every bit of their behavior and co-signing it.
Well, don't worry. She's blocked now. She can come back on another account, but she won't come back on that account. You got the opportunity to come up here and speak. You chose not to. So guess what? You don't get to be here. Not oh well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for talking to her. And anybody else that's window licking, Dee Dee clocked it again. Moderating is signing off on all their business. So,
Yes, it is.
all right, I'll be down in the chat. Thank you
Yeah,
guys. Y'all
me
have a great
too.
morning.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you very.
Bye.
Yeah, you can watch from the outside on a burner. I don't care, but you will not. Wait, add a low Shiva 88. Is that low? Is low in here watching? Girl, I suggest. I don't block quick. I do not block quick. It takes a lot for me to block. But when you are in here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then you're turning right around and going and modding and supporting the very people, oh, low blocked you quick. Oh, okay. I mean, I got blocked from low too, but that's because I exposed the fact that she had a yellow Q on. Well, even before that, she got mad at me because I was like, why are you always complaining about the parents who are taking care of your children? I get it. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, back to what we were talking about. So I Am King Star has been around for a very long time, and it's always for money. And she's another one who uses the Lord and her spiritual connection as to why, like, she'll literally be like, I can feel the evil spirits. Girl, you're feeling yourself. Okay? You're feeling your own evil spirit, because I have never seen them do anything other than beg on TikTok. I've never seen or heard about a job, housing, nothing. Did she even say what she needed $35 for? I'm sorry, Kira. Um, I believe she tried to say that the reason why she was away before was because her phone was either broken or stolen. So what did you do all of that time? You come back, and at like the first couple of days it was just like, yes, I'm back, blah blah blah, and it went right back into what it normally does. No, this is a trans man. They have, I mean, a trans woman. They don't have any kids. They're young too. Like, they're not older. They're young. And people are always like, your skin is so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And she, literally, I think she has a jar of Vaseline with her at all times, and make sure those lips are shiny at all times. And like I said, she literally believes that the scarf is hair. She was like, the hair is serving. How? And then was like, but it's too tight. That's all you do is pull on that scarf. And then she's like, I have faith that someone's going to come in and bless me. She's been asking for the same $35 for 3 days. Girl. And this is what's funny. When she gets it, she'll be like, see, I told you God was going to bless me. A week later. That's not a God blessing. That's someone taking pity. Wait, what did you say? Beggars, what do I think about mods of awareness going into scammers live and chatting it up? I would have to know the circumstances. I can't make a blanket statement. I can't make a blanket statement. Right, that's what she would say. She would be like, it's 19 hours and 35 minutes. And she often talks about how she's gone viral and she has this many views and blah, blah, blah. On and on and on. No, I understand being curious. I literally need the scenario though. Because I don't want to say something and then people show up here with 75 examples where it doesn't fit. Do I think that sometimes it's bad? Yes. Right, Sherry. That's what I mean. Like sometimes they're asking questions to either get to the lie or get to the truth. So it's not like a, hey, how are you? How are you feeling today? What did you do? What are you asking for today? Like there's one chatting up that, right, some do it to avoid being blocked. So I would have to see the situation and what was said to give you a answer. But do I think it's always necessary? No, because this is the thing, you don't have to go into every live to watch. You can watch from the window. And then A, that prevents them from being able to block you, and B, it prevents you needing to chat them up. If you say good morning, good afternoon, I don't consider that chatting them up. But other people may find that differently. That's why I said I can't, it's not a blanket statement. But I understand the question because I've had some questions. So right after she says that she has faith someone's going to come in and bless her even though it's been 3 days, she pulls out a book and it's about faith. And I was like, isn't this convenient on a Sunday morning? Oh, no problem, beggars. I try to answer as many questions that are given. Why are you reading a book about a faith on Sunday morning? Because you're trying to get people who may be going to church or temple or their mosque or whatever the case may be, and they'll be like, oh, she's on that time, let me send her money. By the way, some people may not know how to go ghost. So maybe we should do a lesson about that on Wednesday. How to go ghost. Let me write that down. But I want you to understand that going ghost doesn't mean that they can't find you. Yes, Apuki, that's true. Just be mindful of who you watch. Not all watching is equal. They may be showing scammers, but just be mindful. No, I don't have a problem going ghost. What I'm saying is that going ghost, if they don't catch you coming in, they can't see you. But then afterwards, they can go in and find you. Like you're ghost during the live, but when the live is over, I can go in to my analytics later and find out who was here. Yeah, but I want to teach the right people, Maritza. And not everybody can subscribe, and that's not a requirement here. And going ghost is going ghost. Just understand that the ghost only works for the live. That if they decide to go through their analytics and see everybody who was here, they can find you. Yes, some of them will go crazy trying to find you. I feel you, Sapuki. She says she's been waiting, but she has faith and patience to wait for it. She said that she actually has to put the work in. What's the work? Sitting on TikTok and begging every time somebody comes in? Yeah, Jordan Paul is looking hard. That's not putting the work in, is going and getting a job. I did see Chef Carl. I was live when Chef Carl came live. So I couldn't watch it, but I definitely announced it to people that he was live last night. I sure did. I sure did. Now, let's talk about this one because I know Disturbed One has some things to say. Let me just say what I'm gonna say first. So I was watching her, and she must have said this over and over and over again, because that's like, she doesn't say something once and then doesn't mention it again, because she knows that people come in and out, right? So she wants to make sure that everybody hears it. So I know that when I hear it, she said it before. She said that her goal was to make $110 literally yesterday. Do you know how much in gifts somebody has to get $110? That is 20,000 diamonds. That means that even if it's 50%, people have to have paid $220 of their money for her to get 110. And that's if she's at 50%. But this is the thing that I was like, and y'all are still sitting here. She then says that they are looking to purchase a car. Wasn't she just complaining about getting oil in the furnace and how much that was going to be? Okay, White Sox, I'll clean your litter box. I got you. You just went. Give me a minute. He just stands there and he scratches it and scratches it like he's my bully. The same way when he wants to go outside, he ruffles the blinds over and over and over again. So he keeps scratching and scratching and scratching like I got it. And as soon as I said that, he walked out. Right, Peppy is back. He is such a diva. And when you hear him, he sounds like a girl. It's hilarious. Like he's such a bully in the house. You would expect him to sound like a man, but he's like meow. Sounds like a girl. It's ridiculous. Anyway, how are you purchasing a car when just the other day you were crying about not having enough money to fill the oil tank? Mind you, and we're at the beginning of winter. We're at the beginning of winter. She's going to need to fill it again. But you've decided that for somebody who goes nowhere, you don't even want to leave TikTok to go with your family to an event. What do you need another car in the house for? Where are you going? Your husband clearly has a car. Your daughter clearly has a car. What do you need another car for? That's true, Sherry. They get summer like London gets summer. The sun opens and before they can enjoy it, it closes. Mitch 2.0, yes. Her husband doesn't have a car. How does he get to work the people he works with. Hold on, Disturbed One. I'm gonna let you up in a second. I just want to get my stuff out and then I'll let you up. And then she talks about how people were like, I like your day lives, not your night lives. And she was like, I don't like them either, which is why I come on as late as possible just to keep the fragment. Sheena, I'm going to try to not say Sherry. Sheena, you are what's wrong with your night lives, not anybody else. You are what's wrong. Because you put the most pressure on the people who support you at night for your imaginary fragments. And understand that there is absolutely a reason why she wants the fragment. Because the more fragments, the higher up she goes. And when you become an A1, you are able to get the most money out of TikTok. Like when you're a D5, your separation or your split is like TikTok gets 70%, you get 30. Oh my God, Missy Muffy. I would need to mute the phone. So that every fragment raises you in the ranks so that you have a better split with TikTok. She tries to act like it's just the thing she wants, but that's not true. She wants more money. And this is the thing, and I said this to you guys the other day. I don't know if I respect the battlers or the people who send it directly to my payment apps. Because at least if the entire amount is going to you. In her case, you are paying TikTok for the pleasure of watching her sit there and beg. That's why I don't like it. That's why I call it sanctioned begging. The only reason why TikTok allows it is because they are making money. TikTok was no longer free. When they say it's made to make money, Josh and I just say that all the time. TikTok is made to make money. No. TikTok is no longer free when you are supporting a battler. And especially to the amounts that they are supporting her. Think about it. When someone gets $1,200, do you know how much TikTok must make? Missy Muffy, she would lose her mind if her gifts got suspended. And then, of course, she does the trick with the system. I need 5 new followers, so unfollow and follow me. Mind you, I think TikTok is catching on to that nonsense, so sometimes it works for certain. How is a mod going to unfollow and follow back? Make that make sense. But they try it. How are you going to be a mod, unfollow, and follow back? So she eventually got there, but the people who immediately do it, it didn't work. Then she literally sang the words, let's give them something to talk about. How about gifts, gifts, gifts? Which name is spelled wrong? Exposed. Let me know. She literally said, how about gifts, gifts, gifts? Is this somebody who says that they don't beg for gifts? Because she actually said that later. She said, which name is spelled wrong? Sheena's Blissful Beginnings. Sheena Sweester. Oh, how was it spelled? Oh, Sweetser. Okay, I got it. No, the S comes after the T. Yeah, I just wrote it down and still wrote it down wrong. Sweetser. Okay, I'll fix it. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. And then she was like, I'm kidding. No, you're not. That's the only reason why you're on TikTok. She talks about, oh, we wake up in the morning and we talk about recovery. I have never, in all of the months I have been watching her, heard her have a conversation about recovery. Unless someone, I have asked her on multiple occasions, you say you talk about recovery when? She's like, oh, I talk about it. I show people that there's a life after being an addict. You never talk about that. Then she says that she hopes that they've noticed that she isn't mentioning her gift goal or gifts, and then proceeds to mention the gift goal, that it was the birdies chirping. What? Anything that she may be doing now with relation to discussing, oh, thank you, Frank. Anything that she might be mentioning now about that is because she keeps getting called out for it. Y'all haven't realized that she responds to the call outs. That's why she says, I'm not begging for gifts. I don't want to be considered a beggar, and then proceeds to beg for the gift. That was cute, Ann, wasn't it? She doesn't want to be considered a beggar, but she literally begs. She'll be like, oh, I have this gift goal. What happens every Sunday night into Monday morning? It's the gift gallery. It's the gift gallery. We got to get it. And she gets angry when it's not filled by Tuesday. This is the thing. You have to be really bold to not have a job, to want to go out and buy a car, used or otherwise, because you think that the money you're getting on TikTok will remain. Wait, who said that? Mitch 2.0, 110%. 110%. It is, but it's almost reverse psychology in her own mind, because the rest of us can see it. You got to not only cover the payments, you got to get it registered, you got to get it insured, which costs every single month, and you have to provide for maintenance. Is this going to be something else that she has to say? I really need gifts, guys, because we got to pay for the car and the car insurance. Somebody make it make sense to me. Because I don't understand why she still gets any support whatsoever. It's ridiculous. I'm going to do, this is her. By the way, guys, if your little logo DDD next to your name is grayed out, make sure you do the Daily Heart Me. If you can. If you can't, I understand. But if you can, please do it, because my numbers are going down and I need them to go up. TikTok needs me to see that. So please hit your Daily Heart Me. But I'm not going to beg for the Daily Heart Me because I don't need that. But if you can, please do it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just being funny, guys. I'm copying Sheena. I'm copying Sheena. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm copying Sheena. Okay, tell
Hello.
me about last night. Hello.
Okay, well, last night she was on. I don't know what time she came on. I caught it because I caught it. Supposedly she was saying how she's glad Don must be home this week. I don't know if he's not working or what. She didn't get the car because yesterday she had to tell her daughter to take the trash to the dump, and she was explaining that on Wednesday she's gonna get like one of those big old dumpsters to put in front of the house, and every month she's gonna have it removed. Anyways, so
How much junk is in the house?
I don't know, but I don't think that is that legal. I mean, will her
Yeah,
landlord like that?
yeah. In the Northeast, it is. It's a thing.
Okay, so yeah, but wouldn't it be with critters? Anyways, so she was talking, and then I guess she kept on getting phone calls, right? And then all of a sudden she said, "Oh, they're calling me again. They're calling me again." But thought she changed her number, and so she looked at the screen, and then she went mute, and then she was walking, and then she put a pickle on. And then she comes back saying, oh, she got a text message saying that they were in her backyard or they were in her yard bashing her boat. And she goes,
What?
oh, I don't know, a boat. So she goes, oh, I muted and I told Will to get my thing, her pew pew. She has a pew pew now. So she goes, I don't care. I went outside and this and this and that. But yeah, she goes, I'm not scared of them. But just a little while ago, she was saying, oh, I'm glad Don's home because I'm kind of scared and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what was happening. And then I guess she changed her number again. I don't know.
Hold
But
on. I saw
with the screen,
somebody else say something. Wait a minute, wait a minute.
but the
Right.
screenshot she showed looked phony. It looks so phony.
Scam opera. Come up and explain. She freaked out that the rankings reset at 11 p.m., not 12 a.m. Oh, was it because of the time change?
Yeah, yeah. It was time. Oh my God. Oh guys, we could do this. We could do this. We could do this, guys. Yeah. So supposedly now she has a pew pew, and she made the
Oh, okay,
symbol.
scam. That's okay. Yeah, well, that's a Northeast thing too.
And she goes, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, a
scared."
lot of people will be like, "Oh, I only have it for when I hunt." There's a lot of hunting up that way.
Yeah, mini something. She gives a lot of gifts, but
A lot. Listen, a lot. She has a loyal following that
yeah,
was
she
with
does.
her, but she's like, we need to go grow again. We're losing too many people, and I don't know what to do. Stop being you is what you do.
Uh,
And let me, you know how I talk about the analytics? Literally, as soon as my live is over, it tells me how many people were in here, how many people came through, which is usually a much higher number. Then it'll tell me how many people have followed me.
right.
So she knows immediately when she's over if she got any new followers or not.
She has said it on live. Oh, guys, I got this many um people watching me, and I got 12 new followers. Blah blah blah.
Right. So she knows immediately. But my thing is this. If you expect a different outcome, doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity. That's the literal definition.
Oh, oh wait. Like Tina said last week, she was saying about, oh guys, we should put a basket together to help a homeless family, and she's saying, oh, we could do it. We could do it. We put our money
Oh,
together and
yeah.
this and that. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I heard her say that she was going to cook for her family, but that she's going to do a Thanksgiving for another family. And I'm like, Girl, why do you need the people in your chat to help you feed another family when they feed your family every day?
Wait, and Dee Dee, she wouldn't give her daughter $40. She wouldn't give River $40. It's $40. I think
Oh,
she
that's
had,
what that whole fight was about.
yeah, she won't give her $40, but I think she promised it to River. And then it's like when she got paid, it's like, oh, I got bills to pay. Nobody, I don't care. Nobody gets my money.
That's
I
why
know.
her kids don't like her.
Yep.
But she wants to blame other people for that. But she's a selfish individual. Look at how she treats her chat.
Yep.
And she's like, look at my gift number or whatever the case may be. Girl, you do I honestly believe, who was it the other night? And I was like, oh, it was Tim Nash. He got gifts yesterday in an outrageous way. Like, he's now saying that the pharmacy will not let him get his medication a few days at a time. So he needed $45 for a new seizure med that he hasn't taken yet. So why do you feel bad about about that med? You haven't taken it. And then he was like, I think I'm getting the flu. Because you realize that the story you just told didn't make any sense. He not
Right.
only got the money for the meds, he got the money for food, and he was getting gifts left and right, talking about, I want to use those to take Ella out for our anniversary. Who is this new mystery person giving him all this money all of a sudden?
I don't know. They target the older people, as you say. So does Sheena. Sheena, I think they target the older people, and that's a shame because these older people. I mean, there's a lot of older people in her chat who gift her.
Of course, that woman that her and her sister fight over is an older woman who came into some money, and in their mind, it's like, if you have it and I don't, I should be able to ask you for it, and you should be
Yep.
able to give it to me.
Yep. A lot of people have left her because I'm glad a lot of people have left her because they saw how greedy she is.
Right. It's not about anybody else but her.
And we. There's no we. There's no we.
I
It's
said,
all
and we
you.
speak in French. The only we making any money is you and TikTok.
And then she says, "Oh well, I'm not begging for money. Gifts is money. Gifts is money. So if somebody pays $100 for a gift, she only gets like $40 of that. So actually, you paid TikTok 60% of that.
Right. And that's why I don't understand. That's why I just said I don't know who to respect. The people battling or the people who say send it to me directly. Because in order for you to get $110, at the very least, people have to send you $220 in gifts for you to get that. Imagine people walking away with $1,000 a week.
Yep.
And she's not only ungrateful, but she's complaining that she isn't getting as much now as she used to.
She was saying she used to get 600,000 diamonds, but now it's only I think she got like 150 or 130,000 diamonds. Yeah.
It
So
doesn't matter. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. And that's why she's on the list. They always want to know why we call them a scammer and beggar. She tries to do this thing where it's like, well, the person battling me must be a scammer beggar too. It is the way you do it. It is the way you treat people. It is the way you talk to people that is the problem. It is not that you battle. There are probably a million people on this app that battle all over the world. They don't come to my attention like you have, over and over and over again.
and she don't battle as much as she did. Honestly, she's just sitting there and actually begging for gifts. She don't
Right.
battle as much as she did before.
Correct.
And that's
Correct.
like, at least that's crazy. But that's what I had to say. It was interesting.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'll be in the chat. Bye.
Yes, because her goal, Lori, what she told her people for yesterday is that she wanted to make $110, and her ma told them she needs 20,000 diamonds to do so. So they knew when they joined her live exactly how much she expected. So if she gets $110, you know what I'm going to do. That's $770 a week. If she gets $110 a day. Again, that's somebody's paycheck. Correct. $46,000, but that's not enough. And she knows we know. She doesn't care. As long as she has people in there gifting, she doesn't care what we think. She only modifies herself when the heat is on so that she can keep the people she has. When just about every single mod walks away, there's a reason. Oh, when you are an addict of anything, sometimes they will find something that is legal to be an addict about. So they'll go to gambling, which is legal. They'll go to eating food. They'll drink. So a lot of people who are addicted to food but get weight loss surgery I shouldn't say a lot, but when they become addicted to something else, it's adult activities, as in getting it in, or it's alcohol. Because with alcohol, it goes in your system, you get really drunk, but then it goes out of your system very quickly. So you can keep drinking, and then it becomes a problem. I don't know what she is, but she drinks a lot of stuff, wears a lot of patches. And I'm always side-eyeing that. Like, why do we need this much? Yeah, Erica, it's very easy. The problem is she tries to pretend like it's not a thing. All of those coffee drinks or those drinks that she makes, all of those things that are not verified by the FDA in any way, and a lot of supplements are not. But she will literally sit there and drink 2 or 3 at a time. And people are like, are you supposed to drink multiple of those at a time? And she's like, it doesn't say not to. Does that mean you should? She talks about not wanting a schedule, except we know her schedule. She gets on in the morning all day. She goes and has lunch and quote unquote takes a nap. She comes back on in the afternoon, and we know that between 10 and 11, she's going to be on. Let me tell you something. Who was that? D Shenanigan Slayer. I talk about that often. And I talk about it because, again, her not paying her taxes wasn't her fault. It was TikTok's fault for reporting her. And the example I use all the time is if I go and unalive somebody and Mr. goes and tells the police my woman unalived someone, is it his fault or mine? You owed the taxes. You refused to pay them with your small business. People got sick of you and reported you. It is your fault. If you were doing your business accordingly, they couldn't have taken it from you. Now you can't have a business at all. I wonder, though, with all of her gifts from TikTok, is she paying it off? Again, proud fire wife, Sometimes that's what people make working 40 hours in a week. Mitch, that's funny. Have you seen her collection of those? Like when every once in a while she shows, it is a huge collection. Who needs that many syrups? Oh, she is. It's why she gets away with it. But let me understand. Let me get. She's a hustler because most addicts have to be hustlers. But she's dumb as a doornail. She's dumb as a doornail. But when it comes to hustling, she has that down. But she's dumb as a doornail. Why are you taking medical advice from your chat when nobody in your chat is a nurse or has any medical knowledge whatsoever? Right, Peppy is back. What? Why? When a Google search is more accurate. I remember when she was like, "Oh, I took the Motrin 2. It's great. Thank you for telling me." I didn't need anybody on TikTok to tell me there was a Motrin 2, and it is great. Why somebody just send a message to one of my burners telling me they're a single mother and they need money? Missy Muffy, I hope it comes sooner rather than later because I'm getting sick of all of them. Now, let's talk about the star of the show, Mr. Timothy here. I don't know what's up with Timothy's, and I said this before. Go away then. He got up from my lap like, I guess I wasn't rubbing him. Anyway, I happened to catch a live. This was early Saturday morning. This is before we even left for a funeral. And I happened to catch him live. I have so much to say, I don't even know where to start. So yes, please tap, tap, tap. I let me start at the end, and then I'm gonna go all over the place. So you're gonna have to forgive me. And a lot of y'all were there. If y'all remember things that I don't, please share them. But I said a lot about his racism. I said things about him being a misogynist. I questioned the age of the young lady, who I now know came from Texas, from San Antonio specifically, not because I did any research, because he ran his mouth. I didn't get blocked. He kept going back and forth with me. I wouldn't give him the pleasure of being in his box on any day. You see me there? I got blocked when I said he was asking for $270. That is a week's worth of their hotel room. That's why he doesn't come live a lot, because when he does, he asks for the entire week. So he only has to ask once a week. So he claims he now has a job in construction, and they are on the coast. They're still doing construction here in Florida. He is in the Louisiana Bayou area. Oh, thank you for that. That's cute. Thank you, Erica. So he says he has a job in construction and that he'll get his first paycheck next Friday or this Friday. But he needs a roof over their head. And so my question was, you want $270 so that your girlfriend can lay in a hotel room and not get a job? And that's when I got blocked. He wanted to debate me on things like race. What he tried to say, because now that that video is gone, he's trying to rewrite history. In that video, he blamed people of color for Anglo-Saxon erasure. That black people got their swag from him. That black women learned to wear big hats at church from them. That they gave us language. They gave us swagger. They taught us how to drive in Lincolns and Cadillacs. Black people are 13% of the population the last time I looked at it. What Anglo erasure is there? Then he tried to call me or say that I was being anti-Semitic because he's Jewish and I don't like his confidence. How can I be anti-Semitic when I don't know you're Jewish? How am I anti-Semitic? You didn't say anything about being Jewish, and my problem with you wasn't anything about being Jewish. My problem with you was that you said that there was Anglo-Saxon erasure and that there shouldn't be. And then when I was like, well, black people haven't made any contributions? You haven't gotten anything from us? Well, I didn't say that. Of course not. Because it doesn't fit your narrative. You have a specific narrative. And so if you were being fair, you could say, well, they got this from us and we got this from them. He's like, we like spice. If you go back to the lands from which you came, they still eat bland food. Because spice was brought to them. They didn't have it. You didn't teach us spice. Spice was brought to you. And they still don't eat spice. Go to Europe. They think spice is salt and pepper. But the problem isn't that we have learned things from each other. The problem is that you want to discredit and discount anything that anybody else has brought to this nation. Do you not realize that the land that is now called America existed with people on it before your ancestors came here? And then took over by unaliving millions of people? And then also, you talk about giving us language and culture. Sir, you stole us from our language and culture. You beat our culture out of us. You gave us new names. We weren't named Timothy and Jimmy and Robert. Those weren't our names. That wasn't our language. We were forced to have it. If you've never seen the movie Roots, I suggest you watch it. His name was Kunta Kinte. And he was beaten mercilessly until he said, my name is Toby. My last name would have not been my last name had a slave owner not owned my ancestors. So to say we took it from you or we are erasing you by taking it. We were forced to. But to say that we did not keep part of who we were in our soul is laughable. You gave us the garbage parts of food because in Europe, eating a chicken wing was seen as the garbage. You gave us the pig intestines and we figured out how to make it taste good. You gave us what you considered to be the least, and we figured out how to make it the most. And now Southern cooking is a thing. But it wasn't because that's what your ancestors bought. I'm sorry. And especially not in the bayou, where there was a culture of natives, French, African. And see, another thing that people fail to understand is that there was a time before slavery where Black people were here free. CNN has recently done a series on Louisiana. And they also have a series on bread, which I appreciate. And they talked about what Louisiana was prior to the institution of slavery. They were all together. And there were free men. They were called free men. And even after slavery, there were still free men. Though they weren't talking about natives, they weren't talking about the Europeans. They were talking about the Blacks who were here free. You know what? I'm sorry. I just got to notice this. When I was talking the drama, I had 400 people in here. And now I'm down to 291. Are we afraid of the truth? Because what I don't understand is that he's a scammer. He's a scammer on top of everything else. But he's a racist as well. And the moment I start making the points that not only is he a scammer, but he's a racist, but he would take a Black person's money if they sent it, they're out. I saw that, Sherry. They're out. It's amazing. Thank you, proud mom. Because how are you going to be a racist and a scammer and expect money? What disappoints me is that there are literal people who are hearing him be this way and are agreeing with him and sending him the money. But AB baby, this is the thing. It will always be a sensitive subject if we can't talk about it. If we can't just confront it, how do we move on? You want to say move on from it, but when I can identify it in a person, am I supposed to ignore it? Because there's a lot of people who would say we're beyond racism. Well, clearly we're not. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who stayed. But the problem is that he said all those things and is now trying to backpedal and say, well, I didn't say you didn't make contributions. I was just talking about Anglo-Saxon erasure. Where are you being erased? I was watching something yesterday and they were talking about, and this sounded silly, but just now our makeup brands expanding to cover our color. We had to have someone make a brand to expand to our colors. We would have to combine colors because it would be light and black. And we would have to get multiple colors together to fit our skin tone. There are still makeup brands that only have 3 colors darker than light. 3! As if all people of color are only 3 shades. When there was a nude color, it was never our nude. They are just making band-aids that match our skin tone. Do you know that medical books will show a rash or a scar or an anything? 90% of the photos are of a lighter skin, so that when you see it on a darker skin, you might not recognize it. Think about how that is when I walk into a place and show a scar. If the only time you've seen this rash is on lighter skin, you might not be able to recognize it on mine. There was a nurse that was talking about how in the medical records, if a white woman came in and complained of pain, the note would read, she came and expressed that she's having discomfort here, here, and here, and this is the level of pain. But when a black woman, they would be like, she's coming in here complaining, and I think she's med seeking. And you want to know what, Missy? You've never thought about it because you don't have to. And that's okay. But when people talk about systemic racism, while those may sound like little things, those are the little things that we notice. I talked about how during the Super Bowl, when it was Kendrick Lamar and he wanted everybody to be a person of color, there was outrage. Why would he do that? Because for our entire lives of watching Super Bowl halftime shows, we watched where it was all white people all the time, every year. But you didn't notice it because it's what you recognized. Correct, true love. And until we talk about these things, you won't have a clue. You won't have a clue. So you'll go in and be like, I didn't see a problem. Well, of course not. Because the problem is you aren't excluded. When you want a Band-Aid that matches your skin because you don't want it to stand out, you don't have to think about that. You don't even have to think that it doesn't match your skin tone because it already matches your skin tone. So when they came out with Band-Aids that started to match our skin tone, it was a big deal to us. And when people say, I don't see color, that's actually the wrong tack. I want you to see it so that you can appreciate it. I see you as a human being, right? Race is a construct. There's one race, we're all human. But I want you to see me like I see you. And then appreciate, while we're both human, we probably have some differences. We were probably raised differently. If you were raised in California and I was raised in New York, we would be different. I want you to appreciate that. Don't overlook it, because that's saying to me that none of that matters. And so then you have this child who was clearly raised to believe that you may be low, but at least you're not a black person. That he can operate in this country and get away with it. And not only get away with it, but be taken care of by people who think like he does. So when you say that it's gone, that we should get past it, there are some people within this country who are holding on to it wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. He does look like JoJo Siwa. And understand, he's made video after video after video talking about these things. Right, Cindy? He wants to subjugate. I may not be able to take care of myself and my woman, but at least I'm not black. As if there aren't black people who could pay for you and your entire family line. But you being a sorry human being has nothing to do with Anglo-Saxon erasure. I talk to them every day, and they're doing just fine. How many are in here that don't beg? Do you feel like you're getting erased because you don't have any money? But like I said, I can come if I were like, you know what? I'm going to send you to 270. You think he would turn it down? No. You see, he's a racist first, but he's a scammer right after. Period. And I'm sorry if you don't appreciate that I'm going to call out his racism at the same time that I'm going to call out his scamming. But I'm going to do both. Because guess what? I can do two things at once. And they're both true. I'm not making it up. I didn't make him racist and a scammer. He gets the money every week. Oh, thank you, Miss Coffee. He's a scammer who happens to be racist. Jimmy Jam, of course. That's right, Anna, and stand on it. You are still here. So whether you don't like him because he's a scammer, you don't like him because he's racist, or you don't like him because it is both. Either way, he's on the grid. And he's going to stay on here until he stops begging on TikTok. Period. And on that note, I'm going to end this morning because I've already gone a half hour over. Right. It's plenty to not like. I want to let you guys know that I will not be live Sunday night for the sub live or Monday morning. I have an appointment I have to go to. I have to get some results. Find out if I can't hold off the surgery any longer. It was good to see you too, Gypsy. I hopefully by Wednesday will have the calendar of November open. Thank you. So that everybody will know what the schedule is, and then I will post it. I had already planned not to do an affirmation or a self-care moment today because I knew today was probably going to be long. But I want to share one other thing with you. Since I do music now at the end of every live, You might not recognize this, but if you've ever watched the show Good Times, at the end of their opening, they always show this photo. And it is a famous photo called the Sugar Shack. I was only able to get a portion of it. And I will be using this at the end of every live. The next is going to be the Saturday after Thanksgiving, because I'm not going to go live for most of that week. So I thought most people will be home that Saturday night. I'll go live that Saturday night. So this will be how I end every live. If you don't know this picture, look up the Sugar Shack. I need to put the name of the artist on here. But today we are going to end with Echo. Play Michael Jackson's